What's up, everyone? Brett Mix here, and welcome to another edition of the Monday Night Wars. This time on the WCW side. Hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying the Monday Night Wars. We got some good stuff to look forward to coming from this point from 1997 all the way to the end. It's going to be a fun ride till the Attitude Era, until McMahon purchases WCW. That's when these reviews will end. You can always check by the reviews. I archive them. And you can always check through. You don't have to go through it live like I do. You can go back and rewatch the Monday Night Wars on your own accord. And then you can watch these reviews. I archive them all, so you can go back and watch them whenever you want. So that's the good side of this. This is the 88th episode of Nitro, but the 84th week they go at it. Nitro beats Raw for the 47th week in a row. The score was 3.3 for Nitro, and Raw scored a 2.7, so they won by 0.6 this week. Through 84 weeks, the score is now 65 wins for Nitro to WWF 17 and 2 draws. So 65, 17, and 2 is Nitro's record all time in the Monday Night War. This is the Nitro with the winning Nitro with the 3.3 rating. The show is back to being 2 hours long after the NBA playoffs forced TNT to just do 1 hour shows in recent weeks. We're in Nashville tonight on May the 26th, 1997 at the Municipal Nashville Auditorium. Pyros go off as the usual, and we get an opening shot of the New World Order's entrance music with Bischoff with a Rodman shirt on and NWO on the back and NWO on the front, and then you hear the greatest icon in wrestling as Hollywood Hogan comes out playing the guitar on his world title. Hogan credits Bischoff in the ring. They're doing a promo. Living the life he lives. This is your typical Hollywood Hogan, Eric Bischoff promo to begin Nitro. They had the program was staying. I mean, it's only May of 1997. The match wouldn't happen until December, so it's been a year-long feud with Hollywood Hogan and Sting. But it's a good little kickoff to Nitro, even if the promo was formulaic with Bischoff and Hogan doing the same thing, kind of. But it's what worked. It's like Austin McMahon when it started. It's what worked. It was repetitive a little bit, but it's because it was quality. We open it up in the ring with Hector Garza, Juventud Guerrera, Supercalo taking on Cyclope, Damien, and La Parca. It could be Cyclope or I might be pronouncing that wrong. Either way, Mike Tenay points out it's not just AAA. They're on prime time with Lucha Libre rules, meaning nobody needs to get tagged in. La Parca and Juvi begin with quick offense by both men. A bunch of high flying around in this one. Supercalo with a suicide plancha to the third row, literally. He landed on fans. It was incredible. Twisting corkscrew plancha by Garza and everyone on the floor. Garza with a powerbomb, and that's the match. It was a fun spot fest. I rated it 2.5 stars. Next up, we had Psychosis taking on Alex Wright. Psychosis ties up with Wright and went to work on his arm, while Wright flips around and does the same thing with a modified armbar on his own. Psychosis flips around, but then Alex Wright gets in control, and Alex Wright poses like Val Venus, and some of the ladies in the crowd cheer. Psychosis with a guillotine leg drop gets in the victory. I rate it 2 stars. Sonny Ono tells Mean Gene that Chono is going to face a surprise tonight, and then Medusa walks out and says that she wants a world title shot for the ladies, obviously. And she'll put her career on the line at Great American Bash, and Sonny Ono made that stipulation, and she agreed to it. Next up, Wrath in a squash match beats Mark Starr. Gave it 3 stars of a quarter, as it was just a basic squash match. They announced DDP and Randy Savage will have a rematch at Great American Bash. They said they originally fought at Slamboree. That was a mistake. They fought at Spring Stampede, actually. DDP won with the Diamond Cutter with that upset victory then. Conan took on Villano for the 4th. Conan with a bunch of offense, and then cuts a promo after he wins, as it was a turnaround DDT, and then the Tequila Sunrise by Conan. A nice little leg armbar submission hold gets him the victory. Conan says Arriba Raza at the end, as Mean Gene wanted him to talk English, but he talked more Spanish than English. Masahiro Chono will take on Sonny Ono's surprise from last week. Who's it going to be? It's the Great Muta. But this one is weird. They take a long time to get going. And what ends up happening is the Great Muta joins the New World Order. This Nitro took place 1 year after Scott Hall made his debut appearance on WCW, when he came through the crowd and began this whole NWO thing. So this is 1 year later, and this is on a Memorial Day, sort of like a holiday episode, but Nitro still won with the ratings. So it was 0.6 over the WWF, again with a 3.3 rating. So the Great Muta has joined the New World Order. I gave that match no rating. Jim Powers took on the Barbarian. Barbarian wins with a basic squash match. I gave it a star. Benoit and women come to the ring and talk to Jimmy Hart and the Barbarian. Benoit says, "Where's Sullivan? I hope he collects himself because the crippler wants to do what he does best." Jimmy Hart says, "Benoit, it's simple. The road to Kevin Sullivan is standing here in the Barbarian." Benoit goes into the ring to challenge Barbarian. Jimmy Hart says, "We got time to think about this. I want to make you sweat." So next week is going to look good for that, for the Barbarian versus Benoit. The Giant took on Jerry Flynn, Johnny Swinger, and Ric Fuller in a 3-on-1 handicap match. Giant has Lex Luger come to the ring, and it gets him a big pop. This is your typical handicap match. Swinger tries going for his leg. He falls, so in comes Flynn with no success either, as Fuller finally enters as the third man, and he's overpowered as well. All three men were bounced off at the same time, that typical Big Show spot where they all go together and they fly around. That's what they did for the Giant. He chokes on Fuller, then Flynn, and Swinger as well, and then he pins a couple of them at the same time, and he gets the victory, 3/4 of a star. He beats all three men at the same time. Luger and the Giant, Luger was with him, and then they both get on the microphone after the match, and Mean Gene points out that Hogan and Rodman have signed on for a Slim Jim's Bash at the Beach. I don't know if it's Slim Jim's. I just have a history of saying Slim Jims when it's a WCW pay-per-view. But they're going to be at the Bash at the Beach, and Luger says he wants to be the first one in line for Rodman because he watched the NBA playoffs closely and he had his eye on Rodman. Not sure if the Bulls won the 1997 NBA finals. I think they might have. The NWO theme goes on. They dominated the mid-90s, I believe. The NWO theme, Michael Jordan, comes out, and the Cruiserweight Champion Six comes out, and Six says that Ric Flair is scared of the Wolfpack, and that's the Outsiders who come out with their tag belts. So all three of them men holding belts in the NWO. Scott Hall says it's great that Nashville is NWO country, and when you're NWO, you're NWO for life, as the NWOites in Nashville pop to that announcement. The main event in the ring, Harlem Heat took on Jeff Jarrett and Mongo, Steve McMichael. Some build before this match as they showed a video package. Some good cohesive work by both teams in this one. Kevin Green, joined the commentary team. A press line by Stevie Ray takes down Jarrett. Sherry on the outside on one side, Deborah on the outside on the other. Booker T with a suplex and a missed elbow drop. Jarrett counter and takes in Mongo for the double back body drop. Big time scissors kick from Harlem Heat's Booker to Mongo, but no pin attempt. Mongo and Kevin Green brawl to the back, and it's Double J alone for Harlem Heat to beat on him 2-on-1, and Stevie Ray with a big scissors kick, and Booker T pins Jarrett. Gave this match 2 stars as Harlem Heat gets the big victory as Jeff Jarrett was alone. Jarrett says he doesn't know what's going on with Mongo running to the back, so that's where that leaves that. That does it for the wrestling portion of Nitro. Show ended with an NWO segment as their music hits. And once again, it's Hollywood Hogan and Bischoff. They come out. A fan has a sign that says Bischoff for president. Bischoff poses with it. Bischoff checks under the ring for Sting and keeps smiling as he's not there. Bischoff, the confident, cocky heel and leader of the NWO. Bischoff on the mic with Hogan again, talking about how Sting should worship the ground that Hollywood Hogan spits on, literally, as all of a sudden the canvas gets cut open and someone with a bat points up and some of the fans cheer, and I think some of the fans knew that it wasn't the real Sting. It's the NWO Sting, and he gets on his knees and literally kisses the canvas when Hollywood Hogan spits on it. All of a sudden, from behind, Sting drops in from the ceiling, the real Sting, and grabs Bischoff yet again with the death drop. Hollywood Hogan doesn't know what the crowd's cheering, and then he turns around and sees Sting pointing the bat at him. That's always a classic sight to see on Nitro. Hollywood Hogan or the NWO getting the bat pointed at them, and Sting just dropped in no time. It's such a cool spot as he remained hooked to the harness because the NWO came out, the whole New World Order, and they were about to get Sting, and then that harness dragged Sting up to the top of the ceiling just as it dropped in below. So he came below, hit Bischoff and company, and then all of a sudden pointed to Hogan. Hogan left the ring, NWO come out, and then they're going to all attack Sting, and Sting gets raised up from below. So great ending to Nitro. That was a classic ending, and that's one that they would kind of rinse and repeat as we go along here. Quality rating wise, this week I gave Nitro a 6.5 out of 10. Some basic matches that had low card wrestlers on the show, but the booking of the second hour was a lot better with Outsiders, Luger, Giant, Benoit, Six, Hogan, Sting. They all kind of showed up, the big stars. No DDP and Savage on this one, but their feud will continue. So this Nitro, 6.5 out of 10. Hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying the Monday Night Wars. I'm Brett Mix, and I'll see you next week. I'm out.